Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To the Honorable Madam Nurita binti Salim, as our instructor from the academic writing class, LE 4000, section 18. So, in this occasion, my name is Sekar Syifa Karunia Ramadhan, and my partner, Hanxiao, will present our study, which is about education should be accessible to everyone regardless of their gender, race, and religion. So, without further ado, let's start by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, so this presentation will cover a general statement or introduction about the idea or information regarding the topic and followed by the first, second, and third main ideas. And the last one will be closed with a conclusion statement. All right, moving on. The question that often arises is, does everyone have the right to education? The United Nations revealed that everyone has the right to education. So it can be interpreted that education is not a privilege. Everybody deserves to get an education. But why is it important to address educational inequality for children? So this question was answered by the UNICEF in 2018, stating that today's children are the parents of the future. So therefore, the ability of children in the future cannot be addressed if injustice cannot be resolved today. All right, moving forward to the next discussion, which is in the fact about education in the world. According to Scholaro 2020, in some countries such as Oman, Papua New Guinea, and Solomon Island, education is still not compulsory to its people. It was also reported that in Oman, schooling is free for all three levels of school, but is not obligatory and thus not implemented. The author also claimed that schooling in Papua New Guinea and Solomon Island is still not compulsory, and as a result, that literacy rate are likely to remain high. Based on the statistical data, literacy rate for the world's population have increased dramatically in recent centuries. Based on the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, the literacy rate in 1900 was around 21%. This number continued to increase until it reached 42% in 1960. Next, the literacy rate in 2015 jumped to 86%. In 2018, only show a slight change to 86.30% for the literacy rates in the world. So it can be inferred from this data that education is still not accepted equally for some people. This can be characterized by the increasing number of illiterate people in the world. So therefore, we are agreed to assume that even though we live in today's high-tech world, education is still not accessible to everyone because of prejudice and discrimination against gender, race, and religion. All right, moving on to the first main idea, which is regardless of gender, male or female must have an equal education. First of all, boys and girls should receive equal education because it makes them independent and builds their confidence, as it reported by FACIT 2019. So the current situation of society in the world is that women lack education. As declared by the UNESCO 2015, more than 84 million children and adolescents are out of school since 2000, and 52 million of these are girls. So it seems that the number of girls who drop out of school exceeds a half of the total gender of men and women who do not pursue their education, right? So how does education boost women's confidence? According to Shen, 2018, says that success is closely related to self-confidence and competence. So women need to constantly improve and affirm themselves in the process of education, which can help improve their self-confidence. Furthermore, Thompson 2018 argued that confidence is the product of our lifelong interaction with others. He further underlined that other than parents and family, the most important factor in increasing the level of child's confidence happens within the school. So therefore, children's participation in any activities in school can help to develop the potential of each child to have a sense of confidence. How does education builds women's independence? So some people in this world assume that women do not have to go to school because it is a man who is gonna lead the family, not for women. So education, in fact, for women is crucial in making women independent, as it claimed by FASI 2019. Therefore, education can improve women's working ability and make them more financially independent. Further, in household, women's participation can improve the economy of the family. Based on the declaration from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO 2014, women with good literacy skills in workplace earn 95% more than those who are not uneducated. So we're moving on to the next point, why education is important to both female and male. We agree that makes education as a strategy to end child marriage, as it claimed by Madhu 2013. Many girls are married and have children in their teens. So, child marriage, in some cases, involving girls as young as 6 or 8, almost always resulting in girls dropping out of school, as it claimed by Madhu 2013. As a consequence, children who marry at an early age tend to lose their opportunities to pursue their education. Moving on, child marriage is the barrier for the children to get learning opportunities at young age. As it reported by United World Schools, child marriage is a basic violation of human rights because it violates girls' right to health and education, resulting in early pregnancy that lead to social exclusion. Moreover, conflict occurs because the parents are less educated. This is also the reason why the divorce rate is increasing in today's society. Uh, According to Wang 2015, researchers at the National Center for Health Statistical Sciences reported that 78 of the university educated women who first got married from 2006 to 2010 would expect to have at least 20 years of marriage. However, among women who have a high school education or less, the share is only 40%. So to eradicate this kind of social phenomenon, we should start with education. No matter whether boys or girls, they should receive equal education because it helps them to boost their confidence and make them more independent. Furthermore, education is a powerful strategy to end child marriage.
Okay, let's continue my idea too. Education should be accessible to all races. Um, education can change the parity of people of color. As we know, parity rates for people of color are still very high. This data comes from Ventura's report. The 10 poorest countries in the world are all in Africa, with a range purchasing power per chapter of of US $1,181. Therefore, increasing the employment rate of people of color is the most effective way to change their parity. Next. So how to improve their employment rate? Raising the educational level of people of color can increase their income. Nowadays, many jobs require that employee have a degree. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. indicated one of the following and education levels that workers typically need to enter an occupation, such as less than high school diploma or equivalent. Some college no degree, post-secondary non-degree, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, uh, doctor or professional degree. As a result, people of color were able to improve their degree by getting an education. So education has uh, a lot to do with the wealth, as Naguro puts it. Decisive ruler in achieving wealth and opportunity is educational attainment. Therefore, by providing equal access to education and improving the skills of people of all races, people of color will be able to move into higher fields of work and thus raise their income levels. For next reasons, is that education maintains social stability by reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. In our society, the gap between the rich and the poor has always existed, but when the gap between rich and poor is too large, it can cause conflict. As William put it in his article, the conflicts are indeed more likely to break out in situations where there are large inequalities between different groups. So inequality in education leads to economic equality, which is equivalent to a large gap between the rich and the poor in society. That will bring the conflicts. Education can narrow the gap between the rich and the poor and reduce racial conflicts. According to the National School Boards Association, 2020 report that George Floyd, a black father, was killed by a white police officer. He wished before his death was that his children could receive a better education. It also represents the wish of other Black people. So, while fair education, all races have a right to fair education, not only to eliminate the gap between the rich and the poor, but also to eliminate racial discrimination, play a certain positive role.
Okay, moving forward to the next main idea, which is education should be accessible to all faith and religion. So we agree that why education is important to all faith and religion is because first, prejudice which leads to verbal abuse and bullying against people based on religion can be overcome through obtaining education, as it stated by Jan Daly and Milstein in 2019. Furthermore, according to Petreljo, 2019, and Robbie Chart, 2017, pointed out that there are many types of violence, and not all of which are physical, but also verbal. It is called verbal abuse or verbal bullying when someone says or writes cruel or hurtful things, such as constantly use words to demean, frighten, and control someone. A recent report from the Office of the Children's Commissioner estimated the percentage of children aged between 5 2015 and having a crisis of mental being, slightly rising from around 10% in 1999 to slightly above 10% in 2017. As from previous data, we believe that it is important for children to be educated at an early age about an understanding of the values and equality of each person for human right. So the prejudice that leads to verbal abuse and verbal bullying will not occur anymore, as they respect and not harass people. And as a result, the number and percentage of children experiencing crisis mental well-being due to bullying may decrease. Sum up, everyone from all faith and religion should obtain education as it can teach them to value the differences. Through education, they become more mindful and more concerned with their choice of words and action, of course, when they are treating others.
So according the Ministry of Education Malaysia 2020, education can help to achieve a balanced and harmonious society from different kinds of beliefs. So based on Pew Research Center 219, reported that from 2007 to 2017, the countries which experience the highest levels of social uh, hostility involving religion have increased from 39 to 56 countries during the study. So we are fully aware that the existence of people of different religions still creates speculation and problems in some parts of the world. Actually, according to the previous statement, the issue about social hostility towards religion is an essential problem that must be solved. So by instilling respect and tolerance from an early age in children through education will allow them to have more opportunities and bring more happiness to their personal lives. Now I will talking about conclusions of other articles. So in conclusion, living in a high technology world today does not uh, that the education can be accessed by everyone. So this occurs because of prejudice and discrimination against gender, race, and religion. The importance of education goes far beyond any simple implementation. This is why today we have to look at the real purpose of education and how it will benefit us for the rest of our life. As mentioned earlier, education helps people from all gender, races, and religions in combating prejudice, social hostility, and discrimination towards others. In addition, the purpose of edu education is not only to make children improve their cognitive intelligence, but also to make them a complete human being by having humanistic values such as a sense of respect, sympathy, and tolerance towards others.
Thank you so much for the
Okay.
remarkable explanation given by Sister Hanxiao. So, we sincerely hope that our presentation will be beneficial to all of us in order to encourage all parties from start from families to the government to be able to support education for all children from various backgrounds. So we end the presentation here with thank you so much and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you.